On October 18, 2014, Gareth Bale was benched for Real Madrid's away trip to Levante for reasons that seemed related to the Welshman's fitness issues. 2 days later, it was officially confirmed that Bale had suffered a minor hamstring injury, which would keep him out of the squad entirely for El Clasico, an away trip to Granada, and the Continental Games against Liverpool. This was unfortunate, as Bale had started the season in fine form. He had notched 5 goals and 5 assists in 12 games spanning across the Spanish Super Cup, the European Super Cup, La Liga, and the Champions League. However, instead of seeing the situation as a problem, Ancelotti saw it as an opportunity to test a 4-4-2 formation that incorporated both James Rodriguez and Isco in the same lineup. Versus Levante, it worked a treat, leading to a 5-0 demolition where Real Madrid also recorded a stunning expected goals figure of 4.28. Against tougher opposition, like Barcelona, they managed a 3-1 victory, before beating Liverpool 3-1 away from home and 1-0 at the Bernabeu. Sandwiched between those two European clashes was the Granada match, where Madrid cruised to a 4-0 win. That Real Madrid had not experienced even a minor drop in quality after losing arguably their second best offensive player spoke to Ancelotti's tactical flexibility and expert understanding of how to utilize the attributes in his squad. In his 4-4-2, Isco and James took up the wide positions but had different roles based on their skill set. Isco often roamed deeper and narrow to provide Real Madrid with an extra body in midfield in the build-up phase, while James generally kept the width and positioned himself higher on the right. Isco's natural tendencies to gravitate towards the ball dovetailed perfectly with Ronaldo's inclination to drift to the left and Marcelo's desire to push forward, enabling Madrid to replicate and thus mimic the dynamics of Ancelotti's 4-3-3 at times. Thanks to Modric's more adventurous nature and license to influence the attacking phase, this meant that Madrid had the opportunity to hit midfield options in the half space or engage in tight passing triangles down the wings. But since the basic structure was a 4-4-2, Real Madrid also frequently looked to play vertical passes towards the last line, where Ronaldo and Benzema would drop from central positions in order to receive the ball before dribbling, combining with each other, or spraying passes out wide. It also meant that James had the freedom to dip into the right half space to provide vertical progression down the right or to act an option to switch play from the left side of the field. This positional fluidity enabled Real Madrid to garner the advantages provided in the 4-3-3 and the 4-4-2, creating a multitude of ways for them to destabilize opposition defenses. If you're an opposing central midfielder, do you press Isco when he comes into the midfield line to receive the ball, thus opening up a vertical passing lane, or do you let your wide teammate follow him, thus creating a clear path of progression through Marcelo? If you're the other team's center back, do you follow Ronaldo when he drifts wide, or do you leave him to your right back who is also occupied with Marcelo? These were questions that adversaries had no answers for, and with the freedom of expression allowed by Ancelotti, Madrid were lethally unpredictable and explosive in their attacking patterns. They were also capable without the ball in the 4-4-2 and showcased their competence in a reactive scheme in El Clasico. Against Barcelona's narrow 4-3-3, with Messi dropping into midfield as a false 9 and Suarez and Neymar running into the channels, Ancelotti packed the center of the pitch with a narrow bank of 4 in midfield. With Cruz curtailing his pressing as the match wore on, Madrid effectively shut down Barcelona's desire to build through the middle and manufactured turnovers that quickly led to dangerous counterattacks. On November 4th, 2014, Bale made his return in a substitute appearance versus Liverpool. On the weekend, he took back his starting role in a 5-1 victory over Rayo Vallecano, signaling the return of the 4-3-3. Remarkably, he avoided injury for the rest of the season, meaning that the 4-4-2 only appeared sporadically throughout the rest of 2014-2015. Real Madrid's ultimate failure to win significant trophies had little to do with formations at the end of the day, but Madrid fans frequently look back on this period in time as the gold standard of Carlo ball, wishing that it had lasted for the entire season. And it's easy to understand why. Thanks to Ancelotti's strong grasp of attacking fundamentals and his feel for melding player characteristics together in a complementary manner, he created an attractive and goal-hungry 4-4-2 that paired Isco and James together and produced one of Madrid's most satisfying victories over Barcelona. It is unlikely we see a replica of Ancelotti's 4-4-2 this season, but maybe, just maybe, with the arrival of Luka Jovic, Zidane can run it out when we need to give Hazard some rest, if only for old time's sake. Thanks for watching this week's School of Real Madrid video. If you like our work, please consider supporting us through our Patreon, and be sure to follow us on all our social media channels.